Hello and welcome to Soda Tasting, an online show dedicated to soda reviews and appreciation. I'm Patrick O'Keefe, and today we're going to do something different. Not a review, but a blind tasting. As you can see, I have a number of sodas to my left and right, and I have 4 cups in front of me with numbers on them. I don't know specifically what type of soda is in these 4 cups. I know it's the 4 here, but I don't know which is which. And so, what I'm going to try to do today is to taste these, and then I'm going to see if I can pick out which is which, and also which is my, which tastes best to me, which is my favorite. I have to give a special thanks to my brother Trent, who poured these for me and put the answers in this envelope here, which is sealed. And like I said, I literally have no idea. So again, we're going to do the pepper flavors today. And, Dr. Pepper obviously inspired the genre, but there are a number of different competitors and, of course, just a ton of store brands. So let's go over who we have as far as the brands that are represented here today. Of course, first you have Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper from Dr. Pepper Snapple Group. It was created in the 1800s. Then we have Mr. Pibb, or Pibb Xtra. I still call it Mr. Pibb far too often, but it is Pibb Xtra now, and it is from the Coca-Cola company. It was introduced in the early 70s. And next we have a couple of store brands. You have Dr. Thunder, which is from Wal-Mart stores. And then you have Dr. Perky from Food Lion, which is a grocery store chain. And, I don't know, Dr. Perky here, his bottle is the only one that says, "Warning, cap may blow off, causing eye or other serious injury. Point away from people, especially while opening." So I don't know if I would trust Dr. Perky. But we need to keep an eye on him. It's worth noting that of the doctors here, he is the only doctor that puts a period after the DR in his title. So now Dr. Pepper, again, created this niche in the 1800s, and then Coca-Cola created Peppo in the early 70s, and Dr. Pepper sued them. And forced them to change the name to Mr. Pibb, and it's now Pibb Xtra. Interestingly, Coca-Cola tried to buy the Dr. Pepper company and was blocked by the FTC, which cited it with antitrust for possibly creating a monopoly around the pepper flavored sodas. So that, as you can see, that illustrates that the pepper sodas are pretty serious business. And as I mentioned, there are many knockoffs. There's even a blog that hasn't been updated in a few years, but I still found it funny, called "Not Quite What the Doctor Ordered." It's at fakedrpepper.wordpress.com, and as you can imagine, it documents a lot of the Dr. Pepper knockoffs and store brands, and it's really quite funny. What they all share in common is that they all do have caffeine, and they are all sweetened by high fructose corn syrup. Just eyeballing them here in front of me, they all look the same color-wise. They're all bubbling in a similar fashion. Calorie-wise, I was curious to take a quick look at the calories. They all have... calorie count-wise, not that it really matters, but the lowest calorie count is Pibb Xtra, which has 140 calories. The other 3 all have 150 calories. All right, let's see if I can pick them out. Now, I got to say, it's been a little while since I had Dr. Pepper. I tried to stay away from it in preparation for this. I didn't want to be too familiar with it. Been a long time since I had Dr. Thunder. Never have had Dr. Perky. And it's been, I don't know when I had Pibb not in a fountain. I've had some fountain Pibb at restaurants, not recently. But, so yeah, I'm not really, not like I had any of these yesterday or even last week. So I'm pretty fresh at tasting these. So let's go ahead and start with number 1 here and see. Gosh, this is not going to be as easy as I'd hoped. Gosh, there's obviously a lot of taste similarity here, and I feel like Dr. Pepper is hiding in 1 or 2. Even though I said that probably wasn't Dr. Pepper in number 1, I have a feeling that those were the strongest flavors that stood out to me as far as being Dr. Pepper. So maybe there's Dr. Pepper and Pibb Xtra are these 2, and I have a feeling the store brands might be over here. Gosh. I hope I'm not too dead wrong here. As far as which of my favorite is, it's definitely one of these. It's really kind of close. Even, I would say even too close to call between these two right here. Boy. This is tough, so we'll see how completely wrong I am. But I'm going to say number 1 is Pibb Xtra. Number 2 is Dr. Pepper. I'm going to say number 3 is Dr. Thunder. And then we got number 4 here, Dr. Perky at the end. So Pibb, Pepper, Thunder, Perky. So let's see how embarrassing this ends up being. Open the envelope. Wow, and I totally whiffed on this. Totally whiffed terribly. Oh my gosh. Number 1 was Dr. Perky. Number 2 was Dr. Thunder. Number 3 was Dr. Pepper. Number 4 was Pibb Xtra. Totally fooled today, and I have to give credit to my little brother for totally fooling me. But yeah, I was able to tell that these were not Dr. Pepper, but then somewhere in the middle, I wasn't really able to tell the distinct difference between a store brand and the more popular commercial brands. So I think there's a few reasons for that. The first being that they are very similar, but kind of small, subtle differences. And what I find with store brands oftentimes is that the more I drink them, the more I understand those differences. But in this case, they all tasted pretty good. And I think it's a matter of taste, because you might prefer a store brand that's made a little different, that has a little different taste, to the more popular commercial brand, or they might just be interchangeable, because at the end of the day, that's what they're made to be. The store brands want to copy the flavor of the big brand they're emulating. And then I kind of probably set myself up to be fooled by not having any of these in a long time, or ever, in the case of Dr. Perky. And it's been a long time since I had Thunder. I kept myself off Dr. Pepper and Pibb Xtra just to give it a proper, fair blind tasting. Just a true blind tasting, and that's what we had here. So from tasting them a couple of times and trying to consider them for, a minute or two, I was definitely off base with my selection. So what I like to know about is what you think about the blind tasting concept. Should I do more of them? I'd love to hear your comments on sodatasting.com. And also, if you like the show, I'd love to have you subscribe. You can do so via YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, RSS, and email. You can find links to those profiles at sodatasting.com. Thank you for watching, and as always, everything in moderation.